All right, guys, he's one of the elite UFC welterweights, and there's a very good chance he will be fighting for a title very soon. He's the former Bellator Middleweight champion. He is Hector Lombard. Hector, welcome to Submission Radio. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic. Great to be chatting to you. Now, Hector, the last time we saw you, you put a pretty good beating on Jake Shields. What have you been doing with yourself since then?
Well, I've been taking care of some personal stuff, and I got into a car accident. I got hit from behind, and been taking care of the medical issues and stuff. But overall, I'm all right. Thinking to start training next week, and looking forward to my next fight. It's gonna be in China. I wanna ask my Aussie fans to go over there to Macau and watch me fight live over there.
Yeah. We recently heard that you're going to be fighting Dong Hyun Kim, and it's going to be a great fight. Just before we talk about that fight on August 23rd, with this car crash, what exactly happened, and when did this happen? When did the car hit you?
Oh, it was the very same date that I was going to the UFC Orlando.
Wow, Hector. And did you receive any you spoke about treating your injuries from that accident. What specific injuries did you get from that car accident?
My neck is sore, and my back, but most of my neck. But I mean, I think that I won't be any issue, and try to clear up that next week, and I'm back to the gym right away.
Okay,
I'll
great.
be back to the gym right away.
Well, it's good to hear that you're coming back. Now, let's talk about your fight on August 23rd in Macau, China. It's going to be against Dong Hyun Kim. What kind of problems, if any, does Kim present to you? And tell us about the challenge.
I think that one of the things that he got to maybe would be difficult is he's a lot taller. But I mean, I'm used to fight tall guys all my life, taller than him. So I don't think that's gonna be any issue. But I think that that is gonna play on his favor.
Now, Hector, one of the stories coming out last week was your thoughts about Matt Brown's performance in his last fight. Are you disappointed that the UFC didn't put together a Matt Brown-Hector Lombard fight?
Most of it disappointed about how much hype Matt Brown has. Especially when, I mean, he's been fighting guys that he never fought a top 10 guy. That's one. And who is Erick Silva? I mean, like, that's ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, I would like to fight this guy one day, and I'll prove a point. And I have no respect for him. I mean, like, I said today, I said tomorrow, I would say all the time. He has to go and fight a top 10 guy and go from there. Because when you fight a guy like Erick Silva, anybody can look good. I'd beat Erick Silva even better, even easier. And the way he did. But that's my opinion.
Now, Hector, obviously you've had some big wins over some really tough opponents. Does it kind of bother you that here you beat some huge opponents, but Matt Brown, like you said, may have versed some lesser opponents, but he's in the spotlight and everybody's talking about him possibly getting a title shot, while you've, for some reason, the UFC or other reasons, the hype of you having a title shot straight away just isn't there?
Well, it's something that I can't. That is out of my control. But once again, I believe that Matt Brown doesn't deserve none of that. I believe Matt Brown is just an average fighter, and And like even Kim, for example, Kim beat my Brown, and he's behind. Like actually, Kim beat my Brown, and Kim beat Erick Silva. He knocked him out in Brazil, in his hometown. So Kim is 4 times better than my Brown, and 4 times better than Erick Silva. And he's behind. He's behind on the table, like when you're on the ranks. He's behind my Brown when he beat my Brown. How this guy is supposed to feel? How I'm supposed to feel when I beat two former Strikeforce champions? It doesn't make sense. He never beat any former Strikeforce champion. He never beat any top 10 guy, and he has all the hype. That's very understandable. I don't understand that at all.
Those are all interesting points. I guess one of the things would be his long win streak, but it's true. The opponents are something else that maybe left to be desired.
Yeah, if you have fight all those fighters that he fought, I will have that record as well.
That's a very good point. I wanted to ask you also, one of your past opponents who you did beat, Alexander Schlemko, he recently had an interesting fight against a much larger Tito Ortiz. I was wondering if you did watch that fight, and what did you think of the bizarre matchup?
No, I didn't watch that fight, to be honest, but I'm not focusing that. I'm focusing now in the UFC at the moment. I'm focusing that when I'm fighting. When I'm fighting at the moment. I'm focusing my league. I'm focusing in the UFC at the moment, and I can't say I can't make any comments about those fights because I didn't watch it.
Now, Hector, just speaking about the UFC and the welterweight division, I just want to get your thoughts on the division. Obviously, since GSP has left, the whole division's been shaken up, and you along with your teammates, Robbie and Tyron, you guys are in the top echelon of the division. So can you tell us a little bit about what it's like training, with the best of the best in the division, and do you reckon there'll be any problems in the future because you guys are looking at title shots or being champions very soon, fighting each other in the future? Is that something you guys have spoken about?
To be honest, that hasn't crossed my mind. We train at the same camp, but we don't train together. And that hasn't crossed my mind yet. I mean, I like both of those guys. I mean, like, I'm cool with Robbie, and I'm okay with Tyrone. So, these sort of things that you would say to yourself, like when that come across, or when that happened, it's happened. But at the moment, it hasn't happened. So, kind of like I don't want to even think about it.
That's a good point. In terms of your upcoming fight with Dong Hyun Kim, in terms of your style, you have amazing judo, but you do prefer to strike and you do prefer to, knock people out and really put a statement on. Dong Hyun Kim is another guy who is a grappler but likes to strike now. How do you see the fight going? What will be the game plan for the upcoming fight?
I see the fight going by KO, and I can't describe how the KO is going to be. First of all, I'm a little more experienced fighter than him. A lot more explosive and a lot stronger and faster. So I don't think he's going to create any problems. As long as I go over there with my mind right and I made my weight on point, I don't think he's going to bring any issues. But, I mean, I can't say anymore, to be honest. I don't think it's gonna be an issue to me. Obviously it's gonna be thinking the same way, but that's why we have to prove it. We have to prove it over there.
And I wanted to ask you, in terms of your judo, obviously, you are a very good judo player, but you do prefer to knock people out. That's how most of your fights go. Can you tell us a little bit about why you decided to use more, your striking as opposed to your judo?
Yeah, I always want to be remarkable, and that's one of the things that make me who I am today. Kind of like a side of fighter, people want to watch me fight. It's different than when you get a guy like Jake Chills. He's extremely good fighter. Everyone knows in the MMA game that Jake Chills, he who is who. But that you want to watch him fight? No, that because it's horrible to watch. He's boring. I didn't want to. I didn't, and he also made looks everyone he fights horrible. Everybody that he fought, he made the guys look horrible. So, I never wanted to be like, a Jake Chi guy. I want to be like, a side fighter where you kind of like, you pleased to see me fight. You know what I mean?
I completely understand. Now, something I wanted to ask you personally. I remember being in Australia. It was, I believe, Queensland, and you knocked out Husama Palhares. It was a quick TKO. You went to celebrate. It was obviously great, you being in Australia with all your Aussie fans. Something very close to your heart. One thing I remember is you were trying to get the Australian flag into the octagon, and the security were trying to stop that. Eventually, somebody threw the flag over, and you got to celebrate. Can you tell us a little bit what happened there? Why the security didn't want the flag in there?
I mean, that's a really good question to us, and I asked that myself later on, and I asked that security guy why he didn't want to give me the flag, and he just said that he thought I was going to do something with it. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I just kind of raise it up and be proud of it. But yeah, I think that was an excuse that he just he had certain excuses, but it was a bit silly. You should let me celebrate, and the house was packed, and everyone wanted celebrate with me the victory and stuff like that. And obviously, I wanted to show the gratitude of what Australia have done with me, and. It was pretty hard to pull my point across, But at the end of the day, I did it, and that's what matters.
That's right, Hector. And over in China, if you do win, hopefully there won't be any more issues getting that flag in there, because we love to see you in there with the flag. Now we've got a couple of quick fan questions for you. So I'll just kick it off. Joey Jojo asks, on a scale of 1 to epic, how tough is your weight cut, and what's your weight usually on fight night when you step into the cage?
I would be like my last fight. I was walking around 195, 198, between around that, 198, 195. You know what? If I want to be heavier, I can, but I don't want to. I want to be kind of like 15 pounds, 16, something like that, around that area. No more than that.
Okay.
And yeah. So that way I can stay fast and not heavy.
And sorry to cast him, and how difficult is the weight cut for you, Hector?
It is difficult, but it's one of the things that you have to get it. You have to dress it. You have to dress the situation on time, because if you don't dress the situation, and you leave everything for to the end, it's gonna be a nightmare. So I'm trying to cut the weight like a month and a half before, and then try to go with it almost really close to weight. That way, it doesn't become a bigger issue. But it's always hard. It's always hard to cut the weight. You understand?
Mm. And another fan question, Rory McDonald, not the actual fighter, just the fan. He wants to know, do you still train judo on a regular basis, or do you mostly rely on your previous skills that you learned in the past?
I left judo for a long time, and I'm kind of like regret it. So since my fight against Nate McQuad, start doing judo a lot more. Once because I cut a lot of weight with it. You know, the gear, the sweating, the techniques and all that.
Mm.
So it's a lot easier for me to cut weight when I'm doing judo. And that's part of me. I mean, like I was a bit ignorant before because I don't like to do judo anymore. I just want to be a striker. I want to focus in MMA, but something that's part of you. Never forget where you come from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Hector. Now we're going to do a quick thing. It's called the Submission Radio Tap Out Round, and you basically, it's like a word association. Just say the first thing that pops into your head when we ask you the question. So, are you ready?
I didn't got it. I didn't got a thing. Say it again.
Okay, so we're about to do the Submission Radio Tap Out Round. So what this is it's like a word association. We ask you a quick series of questions, and you tell us the first thing that pops into your head. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's a bit of fun questions. You should enjoy this one.
Okay, here we go. When Hector Lombard goes to karaoke, what song does he choose to sing?
It's true.
Okay, what's the best advice you've ever gotten about being a fighter?
Never let anyone to punch you.
If you weren't a fighter, what kind of weight do you think you'd be walking around at?
About 300 pounds.
What does Hector Lombard's hobbies include apart from kicking ass?
Chilling, relaxing. I miss the barbecue, honestly. A barbecue with some beers.
Yeah, I think everybody loves barbecue and beers, especially in Australia.
Yeah, that's the Aussie in you coming out, Hector. Now, if you could be a character in any movie, what movie would you be in, and which character would you be?
James Bond.
Yeah, my childhood idol. What's your pre-fight? What's your pre-fight ritual?
Sleep.
What's the best music concert? Oh, sorry there, Hector. What's the best music concert you've ever been to?
Shakira.
Shakira. We hear her hips don't lie, so that makes sense. And finally, when is Hector Lombard coming back to Australia to kick some ass?
After my next fight, I'm coming over.
All right, awesome. We look forward to having you. Hector, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, you can catch Hector Lombard on Twitter at Hector Lombard. And of course, he will be versing Dong Hyun Kim on August the 23rd in Macau, China. So definitely going to be a fun fight. Hector, again, thank you so much for being on Submission Radio, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.
Thank you. Have a good night, brother.